Here we go.
Alrighty.
Oh man, back at it again. Appreciate you all for watching, but this one right here is going to be one for the books. Another great edition of Unfamiliar Territory podcast. We appreciate you for checking it out. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like, turn your post notifications on as well. Let's jump right into it. Normally we do like the feel of the week, right? You know, we try to like give out some good things that we feel, but I really want to test the mental capacity because we really have gone through and finally got some form of justice when it comes to the murder of George Floyd. And so I want to start off by asking you, Princess, how's your mental capacity when it comes to the social injustices and social unrest that is taking place, but also seemingly to get some justice?
I'm just going to say, like, I'm just super cautious. I've always been super cautious. So it's a thing to where, like, us being Black, we always have to have this mindset of being super cautious. So that's my mentality, cautious.
Yeah. Paris?
I'm heartbroken. Like, I really am. Like, I'm sad. Like, just the thing, I think what I posted when the whole trial kind of, like, when the jury and everything came back in, was just like, he should still be here.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Facts.
And that just breaks my heart. Like, the fact that it takes this length of time and, you know, just everything that has to go into it, and the fact that we have to sit here and be on pins and needles waiting for a jury to come back on something that shouldn't even have to be discussed. Like, I'm just, it's heartbreaking for me.
I think when it came down to it for me, I was nervous. And then I started trying to ask myself the question of, why do I feel this way? And I felt this way because for the first time where we had clear evidence that George Floyd was murdered, literally for the entire world to see, we still did not believe it would come back with a guilty verdict. And for me, that made me not only think about my little brother, my father, my male cousins, male coaches, anybody that is a male, but not only just a male. Oh, by the way, they thugging it out on us as females too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about, well, in the case of George Floyd by itself, just speaking on the men that are in my life, I was nervous as to, okay, well, where are you at right now? Like, are you in the house? Are you in the car? Where are you? Because now it became a nervous wreck just in case something popped off in every state. In case there was a not guilty verdict that came back. So mentally, I didn't know what to do because we still had all of the right answers as far as government, as far as everything that is necessarily, true to having the evidence, having all of these professionals that come in and speak, these experts that come in and speak, and still have to sit back and be like, they're gonna let them off.
Yeah.
They're gonna let them
the
off.
possibility of it happening, man.
It's just that I had no expectations going into this trial. I just feel like life has been so unfair for us. It's just like, I don't have any expectations. Like, George Floyd should definitely still be here.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't even get your hopes up. Like,
it's.
Well, here's the greater part of it. While George is not here, he did get justice. However, we still have to wait now another 7 weeks to find out if justice really will actually be served.
He will never get justice. He's dead. It's not justice. Like, to me, that doesn't determine justice. He's dead.
And speaking on that point, it was something I saw like on social media, basically saying how, you know, these victims, they literally die twice because they get killed. And then they have to like live through these trials and everything that they're not even here for, and then die again after, you know, they get parole and house arrest or something crazy. Like,
that's the point.
Like, and it's so messed up.
I personally believe that, and this is just me, I personally believe that there should be, if convicted of things of this nature, I think life should be in return for life. That's for just
sure.
me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
I firmly believe
for
that
sure. Yeah.
George Floyd will never get his life back.
No.
So why can't we not? And I'm not necessarily a death penalty person, because I have a firm belief in my spiritual faith that God makes the decisions on life.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there should be some form of life sentence imposed on a person that took a life.
Exactly.
If they are in law enforcement. Let me make sure I'm clear on that.
Oh, just in law enforcement.
I'm because circumstances are different.
Yep.
But if it's clear as day evidence like this,
yeah,
I firmly believe that it shouldn't be, oh, you get 40 years, you get 20 years, or you could possibly just get 10 maybe. And so that gives me too much leave room to say, now I got to put what I didn't want to happen in the judge's hands, still have to go back in the judge's hands to make sure that the hand is actually played.
He tortured
literally
George Floyd.
Like, for his mom.
He tortured him. Like, that's what were you taking out on this man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that made you sit your knee on his neck. Like,
my mom is retired Capitol Police, so she did that for like 30-something years. So just to hear, you know, her expressions on all of the different things that have taken place over the last year, that incident in particular, she's like, we never were taught any maneuver like that to restrain any type of suspect or anything. You're never taught to restrain somebody in that way. Put your knee on the back of somebody's neck. And that just hit home for me.
I think, I'm so taken back, because at least hearing it from the professional part of it, right? I am also trying to have the benefit of the doubt for the good cops.
oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
I feel bad for the good cops, man.
But
all cops are
not
not
a bad tree.
But let me say it like this. You can't be a good cop and not confront the bad cops that you know exist.
Accountability.
And that's the reason why the word accountability kept popping up on social media. It was trending like crazy on Twitter. But accountability is not just making sure that we have it in the courtroom. It's also within each other.
Right.
And so when we hide behind these shields, these badges, the guns, the tasers, not knowing the difference between them, say what? So I'm trying to understand how do we have good cops, but they don't hold the people accountable that they know, or they're covering up. And like, we see these, like, and I'll give you an example of where my mind is, right? Now I know that, you know, benefit of the doubt in this. I know that these TV shows that we see that are law enforcement based are fictional, but they're based off of non-fictional stories.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you the protection of the cover-ups of what possibly can be hidden at some point in time, because I'm supporting my brother in blue. I'm supporting my sister in blue. I'm supporting behind this situation. But sometimes support means stepping out, because you got to call them out.
Right.
And everybody ain't trying to call nobody out.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out what is the way that we should feel as to now having these police officers, the police chief that came to the actual trial and testified against this police officer or former officer, this as we now know, guilty murderer. Why did it take just this? What's going to take? What is it? What do you think? And I'll ask you, Perry, what do you think is going to be the next step? Because we still got Jacob Blake. We still got Breonna Taylor. Like, we still have Ahmad Aubury. Are these police chiefs going to come out then? I'm curious.
I think it needs to happen. I do think that it's a step. You know, it's progress. And I don't think anything is really going to happen overnight. But, man, it's just...
I'm going to ask you this. Because I want you to stay there because, and all of us are siblings to somebody, right? You have brothers.
For sure.
What was your immediate emotion when hearing a guilty verdict? Did you feel any relief when it came to your brothers?
No, I honestly didn't.
Wow.
I really didn't. Not one bit.
Wow.
Like, I was talking to my mom. Shoot, let alone my brothers. I think about my own safety being an African-American woman.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my mom the other day because I kind of speed when I drive and everything. Like,
Florida.
I don't want to get pulled over just for speeding because I'm like, you just never know. Like, you don't know who the next person going to be.
Yeah.
It could be me. It could be you, you know? So, like, yeah, I have fear for my brothers, but I fear for my own life. Like, yeah, you know, he kind of, you know, he got, you know, he's guilty and everything, but I honestly, I'm kind of hopeless.
Wow.
I'm kind of hopeless. Like, I think we're taking steps, but for like every like step forward, you see 5 or 6 videos online of how a Caucasian male or female are attempting to attack police and they're standing down and not doing anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? For every person that gets killed for our race, they're attacking police officers. Clapping, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's to me, I always feel like it's sending a message. And they're intentionally like showing these things because it's sending a message. So I'm a little deeper when it comes to it, but
I'm curious to know what that message is. Because I know you, like, I know, like, being able to say that, you know, you have that relationship next to being a child of a law enforcement parent. So I can already imagine the household strategic strictness of the daily planning of understanding, but still in the mannerisms of, what do you think that message is? Because we got the knee on the neck message. But what do you think the overall message is? I am very curious on that.
I think the overall message is really just trying to like dishearten us as a race. Like every time we have somebody that's ready to revolutionize and take the stance and be like the leader for our group, like Nipsey, like Tupac, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? Every time something happens, they take us out. You know what I mean? So it's being replayed on the news every single day. People spreading it and sharing it on social media is sending a message that's pretty much like, to me, it's just like you're not going to win this war.
It's never
done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's never going to be over for us. It's going to be a continuous thing. And even though, you know, George Floyd received justice, it was the protest. It was everything that we did. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it changes everything. Okay, let's just do this for this case. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just make a couple examples. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? Then we're going to go back to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's false advertising.
So so let's stay there then, because that puts us back into the hot seat of being able to say, well, we did this for George Floyd, and we continuously stayed on George Floyd. We didn't continuously stay as long as we did on some other cases. Like, it stalled out. It was just like, okay, well, we see they're gonna give us for George Floyd, so let's just knock this.
Shouldn't even take this. It shouldn't even take time for all this. Like, Breonna Taylor's case, like, y'all should know what y'all want to do. Y'all should know what y'all want to do to these people. Why are y'all holding off time, like, for this? Like, nah, we don't get this much time when we kill somebody. Oh, no. 2 weeks later, we know we
it's a
in
deal.
For life.
It's a plea. Take the plea. Ooh, and then attorneys in that. The options that are given to our male, or well, I should say our Caucasian counterparts, that they have options. We're presented plea deals.
Yeah. We can't.
They come to the table with the deal already. Like, all right, so look, you're gonna have to serve time. But I could probably get you reduced down to this, but you're gonna have to at least do this. And it's like automatically it's programmed for us to go in the system and have this charge on us. And then it's like, but if you go do this, then now you have the opportunity to possibly have it expunged, or it could be closed in. Nobody will know, and I'm like, wait, hold on. So you want me to go institutionalize myself? You want me to put me in a box to go serve the purpose of what you believe I'm supposed to do because of this? But whole time you asked this other guy down the hall who probably did 10 times worse than I did in order and gave him an option to go home.
So this the thing as well. So they know that we can't afford top-notch lawyers. The Caucasian community, not saying all of them have money, but they're presented with they have more opportunity than what we have. So if we can afford a lawyer, we either trap, scam, rap, you know what I'm saying, or something of that nature. So we're already set up right there because we get a top lawyer. They trying to investigate how we got this money. Yep. You feel me?
Right, yeah. I get that, and I see the aesthetic in that, and I think that first of all, it starts with voting. I will never not say don't vote, and for everyone who believe their vote still does not count. Georgia would not be trying to suppress the vote. The state of Georgia, the governor of Georgia would not be trying to suppress the vote, would not be saying you can't offer water to people that's standing in line if the vote does not count. So for all of my people, I'm going to call you out at this point. For all the people that I spoke to, voting don't matter. I don't know why this doesn't have any type of merit. It doesn't wait. This person did this. You still friends with people that did this to you last year that you said you was over them, but you gave them another chance. So I just need us to go ahead and just stop having these double standards. But we only want to talk about double standards when we're sitting on the advantage side. Those are the things that people don't pay attention to. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not afraid of the attack that may come from out of this particular situation. But sometimes we just gotta call each other out on our BS. And the problem that we're having is that when the BS arises, we suppress the BS. But them suppressing our vote, we not as outraged about it sometimes. It's like it don't hit us until we can't do it. Like now, because it's only in Georgia. Well, they better not try that in D.C. Okay, they better not try it in Maryland. And then they tried in Maryland, and you like, man, they da. And then you have conversation with everybody else, but you still won't go vote. I'm confused.
People of our race, generation, whatever. A lot of us try to seem too cool or for something. Like, why?
I be posted with my sticker.
Yeah, I voted. You know what I'm saying?
I be posted with my sticker.
I think this kind of goes a little left, but I did and will continue to exercise my right to vote.
Hello.
But I don't know if I just feel like it's a bigger, I guess, it's something bigger than just Democrat and Republican. I think it's something bigger that's controlling all of it at the end of the day. So, I think they're just a face, whether it's Democrat and Republican. But, civil rights activists, in the past afforded us this opportunity, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Right. But I honestly feel like government, I don't trust government at all, regardless of what side it is. Yeah. I think, I just have my feelings about it. So, I'll do it, but the government is just kind of...
I can understand the reluctancy in having a non-trust factor for the government. However, it's the only thing that technically we still can go and get control over by voting.
They want you to think you can get control.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
That's my.
We don't really know what's going on. We really don't
Yeah.
ever know what's going on.
Right. I'll take that. I still believe. I'm not even gonna hold you. I still believe that if it wasn't something that was that strong,
they wouldn't try to suppress
they
it
still
so
wouldn't
much.
try to
I get
suppress it.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how we might feel about it,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we still, that's the route, right? Because we sit here and we talk about how, for example, the equal pay, equity and equal opportunity and things of that nature, of having a woman in position to make those decisions, right? Well, praise the Lord, because we got Vice President Kamala Harris, first ever black,
Ever?
okay, female in high office. Me personally, I know that she had a lot of different flaws that came with her. That's every person in the government. I was about to say,
that's everybody.
That's everybody in the government.
Even out of the government.
Okay? And so for me, it was like, listen, whatever choice we got, the one we see, hell no. At the time, Trump and Pence, hell no. Okay? But at the same token, it was like, I got Biden, who, when he was with Obama, everybody was like, Uncle Joe back at the cookouts. He was Uncle Joe. He could pull up to the cookout when he was with Obama. But then when he started trying to run for president, everybody was like, nah, he at the barbecue. Huh? What happened to the cookouts? Bro was just at the cookout last week. Why he can't now all of a sudden, because he got this now. Like, I hate that we go literally try to run the deck on people. Let's run the deck on some of y'all and see if you would be able to sustain not only coming in high office, but also being able to say, okay, yeah, like, but I've grown up.
Yeah.
I've done.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
People ran back
People
old
change.
videos of him like making racist comments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and what my thing is, I understand we were trying to get Trump out of the office,
Right.
but you still have to do that research and not just go for,
The lesser of two evils.
you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So as far as Kamala being in office, like, I'm not easily persuaded. It's a step. It's a good step for us.
Yeah.
But I'm not easily persuaded by what goes on in the political sector. Like, I just feel like now they're just trying to do things because they want us to shut up. That's my take on it.
So then when you say they want us to shut up or they're doing things, like who do you mean, like they? Like, you mean government wise, or like what do you mean?
Like government wise.
Okay.
They want less. They know if she would have lost, if they would have, we would have protested.
Said it was racist.
Yeah. So let's see how it's a test as well. Let's see how
I want to see what
how
she
a
do.
black female is gonna do.
I want to see what she do.
I'm with her.
We gonna see.
I just
Millie.
feel like it was the face
We
for
gonna
me.
see.
It was the face. She was like,
I'm just like I said, I'm kind of hopeless. Like, and to be honest, for me personally, I know we all pretty much faith based here, but my faith doesn't rely in either party,
Facts.
any president,
facts.
any government, county official, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So
You gotta survive evil.
You
You
know what I
gotta
mean?
survive
So-
yourself.
Well, I wanna switch gears a little bit, because there's a whole lot of people that comment in the sports world as we bring our political unhappiness to the light. At one point, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is still very heavy in sports as activism, I should say, not just sports but political, has always been that person that started to lead the charge in the beginning. And there's a few others, don't get me wrong. Of course, Muhammad Ali, and being in jail and taking away his championships and all these different things, all because he utilized his First Amendment. I think seeing the comments of, and there's some that's bots, you can tell, and then there's other ones that are really people that feel what it is that they say. And I hope like hell they don't slow up, because being able to, that the pandemic opened the eyes for a lot of people, especially in this particular unjust, unrest, particular conversation. But what I don't want to happen is we get herd immunity, as they're calling it, and then it goes back to normal. We're not talking about it as much. We're not doing those mega TVs anymore. HBCUs are only a facade at this point. We did a whole NBA All-Star dedicated to HBCUs, but we only got one person in the NBA on the active roster by the name of Robert Covington. What's up, Rob? Playing for the Portland playing for the Portland Trail Blazers. But HBCUs matter. Not one person that was commentating at the particular desk went to a HBCU. Then, like, I just want to put y'all into the game real quick. Then you get to this place where the WNBA led the charge. The entire charge. Did way more, my opinion, y'all know, us being female based, my entire opinion of how much they did, how much awareness, how many conversations they had, how they were taking the time before their games, even in their pregame, having conversations with Breonna Taylor's mom to get answers as to what can we do. Making sure that the name of Breonna Taylor was always seen, no matter what. Yeah. No matter what. You saw it every night. Then Jacob Blake. And I think it was the Atlanta Dream that came in and they had the bullet holes in the white tees. Mm-hmm. It was. That was the most powerful statement I have ever seen in my entire life as a professional, as a former athlete, right? Mm-hmm. I know we know for a fact that this particular era of athletics, of sports in general, is not going to be suppressed as a professional athlete. I would have loved to see more collegiate players do it, though. And I wonder why they were scared. What do
you wonder why?
What do you? I know. I know. But that's my thought.
Yeah.
But do you think that the collegiate players should have done a little bit more?
I'm gonna say being there. Like, of course not in this case, but you couldn't really put your university or your brand at risk. So
what's the risk?
I get it. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I asked the question because, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I asked that question because no matter what, we're still making you money.
Yeah.
So we're at risk every day. Yeah. So we're going to be at risk.
So the thing is, like, you know, it's all about money with these universities. If they may feel like if they promote Black Lives Matter or this and that they're going to lose students.
Like awesome. The institution so stop, as a whole.
Yeah.
Awesome. So stop recruiting Black athletes. Awesome.
I mean, but why though? That doesn't like.
Because it can't just be balanced across the board for one party. That's just me.
I mean, I get it, but we're using them as well. So,
right.
We're using them. Free education,
you know,
location, like hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you.
Maybe I was just that rebel. I don't know. Because I
would have loved to see
it's a business. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe not necessarily having that experience of like being a athlete and a student at the same time throughout a whole season,
Division I,
different institutions. You know what I mean? Maybe you didn't get to really see how all of that kind of works and how they, like, we were controlled even down to the types of shoes you wore.
We had to be careful.
Yeah, I remember.
You know
careful.
I mean? Like, it's a thin line. So I mean, you know.
I think and that's also coming from a era of. That's also coming up from an era that is pre-COVID, and all of the social injustice that we see is not as magnified. Personally, I believe at this particular point in time, as it's magnified, we can't go sit here and say we want name, image, and likeness and push. At the same token, not push to make sure that we understand that the life that we have matters.
Right.
Because my whole thing is, while we were y'all were on edge, had to wash this, wear this, travel with this, have this. I get it. Me personally, these Power 5 schools, all the top schools, they've been making money off our ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've been making money off our ass. It's the biggest, for me, two biggest slave trades there is that's legal.
Okay, so I got a question for you. You randomly get the power to want to come out and have bullet shows in your T-shirt and your pregame warm-up in front of this entire audience. And you think the fact that they've been making all this money that they're going to sit there and just let you do that? And you're not going to be
still you're
or have consequences at some point in time?
It's not a matter of letting me. You can't let me do nothing. That's just me.
These are still children too.
I mean, I get
it.
And
the thing is, like, you can lose your scholarship, and due to the fact that you did want to be a rebel, another school you can't go to another school. That's how the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like J.R. Smith, what teams is, like people who've done things.
I mean,
like,
we can even go even deeper. Colin Kaepernick. But now all of a sudden everybody wants to use his whole platform.
But he's also
OJ Mayo failed
a
drug test.
She mentioned J.R. Smith, so that's the only reason why I said that's the reason why
I think in that aspect it's professional athletes. Like, you are a student athlete, meaning that you are representing an institution, not just this
they're paying
team.
for your education. So, like, that's the athlete part is second.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
But we talked about how it's student athlete, but the student is the first part, but that really comes second. But you are still representing that institution at the end of the day.
Right.
So I think it would be a great platform, especially, younger people to stand up and, take that platform in college and do that. But I just don't think that that's something that's honestly.
I think here's my thought. I think the reason why my thought
process. It's up to the president of the university.
I got you. Like, and I mean, that's the reason why we programmed this show the way we did it. And I personally, my personal regard in that is, for me personally, I might be representing a university, but before that university became in my life, I was representing one thing, and that was me. That was my name. That's all I got. When the ball drops and I can't play no more, if I tore my ACL, my MCL, whatever it was, however many times, to the point that nobody ever wanted to recruit me anymore, or if I never got a chance to get played to play professionally, my thought process is, okay, I still got to look at life afterwards. So, is it worth me sacrificing what might be my betterment now or later? Or and I think for me, and this was, y'all know, this was always me. I was always the person that was just like, nah, I don't like this.
That's why you're not a 9-to-5 person.
Exactly.
That don't work for you. That structure.
Exactly. Like, me personally, I have to look at this situation and be like, first of all, you don't let me do nothing. Like, you don't let me do. No. Like,
you.
It's the same thing that comes down to where that's the reason why a lot of people feel like they don't have the power. We talked about this in episode. We talked about this in the last episode of being able to have the WNBA to get their power by getting their shoes, right? You have Draymond said it. You have the power. You just don't tap into it. Most of the people, if I'm not gonna sit here and say that if I go out on my Lone Ranger that I probably won't be the only person that stand out, because everybody ain't gonna jump ship with you. I understand that. At the end of the day, if I jump out respectfully, like Colin Kaepernick did, who is still technically to this day, and I know we saying collegiate athlete, but I'm using this story as an example. If I jumped out like Colin Kaepernick did, till this day blackballed. But the entire platform and all this money they done raised is because of what he stood for or kneeled for 5 years ago. Now all of a sudden we making money off this. They promoting all this stuff. They now the commissioner, because all of the black quarterbacks came out and said, hey, you need to say this. You need to say this. And now you're gonna go back and you're gonna repeat it. It's a double-edged sword. I will not say it's not. It's a catch-22, 1,000%.
That's
But
right.
at the end of the day, when there is a particular situation where you feel as though it's wrong, and that's what we said in the beginning about these cops, whether it's black or white, there's no such thing as a good cop unless you're holding everybody accountable. The same thing happens in sports. The same thing happens on a team. Everybody wants to go back and be like, yo, man, my bad, I missed a shot. Bro, when we run down the stat sheet, it won't just because of your missed shot that we lost. How does that work? That's just me. I don't know. That's my thought process. Of course, y'all got your own. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. I don't know. But I do got a question for you all.
What's that?
Because I know we hitting some. Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Right? Okay. If you could send a message to the entire world, what would you say in 30 seconds?
We gotta say it in 30 seconds.
All right, we can go a little
30
longer than 30
seconds,
seconds. Go.
Shot clock violation, bro.
Hey, yo.
I would personally say live life. Like, you have to understand what's going on in the world, and you can't be super comfortable. That's it. You just can't be comfortable.
For me, I would say similar to you, like, you know, be aware of your surroundings and what's going on and cognizant of what's happening around you. But at the same time, I think we just need to grow and do things that people haven't done in the past, you know, especially for our race. So really like step outside of our boxes and outside of, you know, the norms for us and go after things that you've never seen somebody your complexion go after. And yeah, like really dream, aspire, and make it happen. And don't let what you see normally, you know, deter you from that.
Paris, I'm proud of you for that. Like, that, what the,
Just
I feel like it's so much more
got the
I wanna
camera.
say, but I'm gonna try to keep 30 second shot clock.
30 seconds. Just like we just debated and had a conversation. Even as blacks, it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about having an uncomfortable conversation as a white person having a black person in a conversation. And you have to be able to have conversation with your friends, no matter how they feel about it. People don't understand that conversation is what sparks change. So if I had to give you anything, have the conversation and stand in your own position, no matter what. No matter what, I'm going to love them regardless. No matter what.
love you too, Slam.
I'm going to love y'all regardless. Y'all know that. And even though they feel what they feel and I feel what I feel, it doesn't matter because guess what? The conversation got had. Who are you having the conversation with? And if you haven't had it, I think you should.
Oh, that sounds like a
She's so
narration
deep.
to like a.
I think you should. And on that note,
Is it a toast?
welcome and thank you for watching
I ate my orange.
Unfamiliar Territory.
She crushed the orange though.
Orange though.